لو الحكاية فيها إن فيتو.
Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Sudheir, Mr. Dowry, and all my friends, cartoonists, and Egyptian people who are here. This is really a great occasion for me, and this is a great honor for me to be in your midst with my works that I brought here to show to you. And I must say that the first quality of a cartoonist is to exaggerate things. Like we exaggerate the nose, we exaggerate the ears, and we exaggerate everything. We blow them up. I'm sure that the ambassador can be a very good cartoonist. When he spoke about me, he exaggerated many things. See, as a political cartoonist, I play a very important role in a democracy in India. Every political cartoonist has a role to play in a democracy. A political cartoonist is a very important person in every democracy. I play the role of the opposition through my cartoons in the newspaper. I play the role of the opposition to not just the government, but to every political party, every establishment where every mighty politician is my target in my cartoons. Let me share a few things with you, how I began as a cartoonist. I started, there is no training for cartoonists anywhere in the world. That's why most of the cartoonists are self-taught cartoonists, are born cartoonists. Even I have never been to an art school. A lot of people think that you've been to an art school. How do you learn to become a cartoonist? When I was 4 or 5 years old, I started drawing cartoons, looking at newspapers and magazines, and I would see Phantom, Blondie, Mandrake, all the cartoon characters, Peanuts, Charlie Brown, and they somehow fascinated me, and I thought that I could also become a cartoonist. At the age of 4 or 5, I started drawing cartoons on the floor of the house, on the walls, on the margins of the newspapers, and my father had a printing press, so paper was not a problem for me. He would give me hundreds of papers to draw and spoil. But I got beaten by my mother many times because he would clean the floor and I would draw something on it. So that's how it started. By the time I was 10 years old in 1970, my first cartoon was published in a newspaper from Delhi. It's a national newspaper. It's called Hindustan. And I worked for the English newspaper of the same group later on, and I became their staff cartoonist. For 20 years, I worked with Hindustan Times, which is one of the biggest English newspapers of the world. So when my first cartoon appeared on two cartoons appeared in the Sunday magazine of the newspaper. Next week, I was only 10 years old. I went to the market, bought 10 copies of the newspaper, and I became a mini star in the small city of Bikaner, which is also like Egypt actually, because that's a Thar desert. I was born and brought up in Bikaner, which is the desert part of Rajasthan and the desert part of India. I went to the market, bought 10 copies of the newspaper. Then next week there were 3 more cartoons which were published in the newspaper, same newspaper, in the Sunday magazine. So 5 cartoons in 2 weeks. And after 2 months I got a money order of 25 rupees. 5 rupees for each cartoon. So 25 rupees was a big amount for a 10-year-old boy in 1970. I took the money with me, went to the market, bought a pair of sunglasses, put them on, and with my sunglasses on I went to see a Rajendra Kumar movie called Chugge Asman.